2000, the MILU Working Party of the IFHP, the International Federation for Housing and Planning, met in Vienna. Urban planners from all over the world concluded that the policies of the 20th century do not solve the urban problems of today. So they felt the need for a global change in perspective and practice.
Vienna is cozy, Vienna is livable, like a small village, like you always have the feeling to know everybody. And on the other hand, it's an international city. It seems to be huge. You feel being part of the big world.
Volkmar has been a member of the MILUnet for many years. MILUnet focuses on multifunctional intensive land use to realize more sustainable urban towns and cities in Europe. About 100 professionals met twice a year in the MILUnet workshops to generate and exchange experiences and scientific knowledge.
É aqui que bate o velho coração de Lisboa. E é aqui onde a complexa história desta cidade se encontra com o futuro. O novo terminal de cruzeiros, a estação ferroviária e 2 novas estações de metro influenciam a necessidade de um conceito de desenho urbano criativo.
7 fruitful MILUnet years. Did the network contribute in creating sustainable European urban areas? Let's take a look in practice. What happened in the workshops?
Oh, the first it hasn't ameliorated much from the very first impression, which was this black city. But it is fantastic, it is fascinating. But you know, as a hell.
Around 50 participants from all over Europe try to find solutions for the urban planning problems of the local host.
I'm from the Netherlands. My main profession is that of an associate professor at the Saxion University for Professional Education, and as part of that I am also managing part of the program of the Habi Forum Foundation.
Under the seat and more information on the safeguards behind the backs. Enjoy the ride.
And I'm the initiator of the MILUnet Operation.
The global economy is highly competitive and demanding. Even well-developed regions have to adjust to the new perspectives, where capital and workforce move around the world easily.
My predominant impression was one of offices, and quite modern offices, you know, high-tech, glass, all of those sort of issues.
Experiences in Stockholm and all over Europe show that the planning policies of the modernist 20th century, which were characterized by the separation of functions, do not solve the urban problems of the future.
I'm one of the partners of MILUnet, and I've been involved since the outset of the project. And particularly the local case is based around the port, and Dublin has many residences for Patras.
In this first phase of the implementation lab, each participant gives their personal observation and suggestions. The facilitator categorizes them using the 6 MILUnet considerations.
Well, I'm in one of the groups dealing with the local problems, and the local problems here is concerned with the port. And we're a group of about 10 people, and during just 1 hour we produced something like 100 suggestions. And of course, those suggestions are, out of them, perhaps 10 are good, the rest are not so good, but just this shows what 10 experts can produce in a very short time.
During 3-day workshops, the MILUnet made recommendations to solve urban problems in more than 14 towns and regions across Europe. The Munich workshop in 2005 showed what can happen with the MILUnet recommendations.
We came up with ideas which we finally introduced into the program of the architects competition for this site, which took place last year from July to September. And about 90% of our ideas have been fulfilled by the new project. If I would not live and work in Munich, I would prefer to live in a city like Stockholm, for instance.
Kista must be understood in the face of a continued pressure and growth of the Stockholm region, while we do not want this to happen as urban sprawl. But
I still miss the natural meeting points for companies like myself.
So it's quite a challenge for us to try to build bridges between the people working here and the people living here. And when taking into consideration that almost 60% of the people living in the area has a background outside the Scandinavian countries, you might realize that this is about practical integration.
The issues that we're looking at are hugely important in the wider global sort of picture in relation to the environment and creating good quality environments. And
I think as urban and regional planners we have a responsibility within our discipline to contribute to this whole climate change discussion. Because we have keys for solution in our backpack, so to speak.
The 6 considerations play an important role in the way MILUnet analyses urban problems. The considerations also organise the working process in the implementation lab.
To the 6 considerations.
To stay on top of the ranks, Kista has to improve the quality of the urban environment. MILUnet recommends using hidden cultural facilities and promoting the ideas of a creative city.
And one of the proposals we made, because the climate is very harsh in Sweden, is to build kind of a very big greenhouse and where people could go and just kind of relax kind of during leisure hours, because the commercial center is very noisy and really, you know, is orientated towards kind of shopping and consumer goods.
It's giving to me a lot of energy to try to go further with the ideas of the MILUnet partners.
What has amazed me is how effective and contributing it can be to have a implementation lab in a certain city that has experiences deadlocks with their planning exercises, and the added value you can bring in flying in people from different disciplines and cultural backgrounds to create new perspectives on issues you wrestle with as a host city.
Welcome back. Wow, great.
If we can disseminate this knowledge and make it clearly more to other people, that either politicians, citizens, planners ask if there is a project, automatically, is it MILUnet?